Okay. Have you heard of the marches to Jerusalem, where from the Arab world they come to the borders and they want to march to Jerusalem?
Yeah, I heard about that, but...
Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, but it didn't happen in the end.
No. But what do you think about it? Do you think it's a good idea for them? It's a way to...
yeah, it's a way to express what they think. It's legitimate. Legitimate, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's legitimate, but... you know, it didn't happen in the end. It's yeah, they can do that. It's as long as it's non-violent and they keep the peace with it. Just express their opinions. It's okay.
Meaning not break through the border.
Yeah, it's a problem if they break through the border. It's a different thing, you know.
Okay. Do you think it'll be successful?
What?
Those kind of protests? Do you think they'll have success? And I'm not even sure what their goals are, but do you think it'll be successful?
No, I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Why?
Why wouldn't they be successful? Because they can be successful if we talk about like the outside of Israel, what they can like make people think outside of Israel about what's going on here. They can just like mess around with people's ideas and you know what people think about this. But as far as it goes for Israel, it wouldn't change anything. I mean, Israel has its own way of doing things and way of thinking about this situation, and it's not going to change it.
I'm against it.
Why?
Because it's without agreement, and it's not. It's provocation, and it's dangerous right now.
Well, what could happen? What's dangerous?
It's like the Mashapin to Gaza, the same.
It's like the
government will react very aggressively, and people will react very aggressively, and it's not. They don't respect our rights.
Oh, you're saying they don't respect your borders?
Our
legitimacy.
It's unlegitimized.
I'm not sure. They're not against the state of Israel, but no, I'm not for it. Not right now. Not in this way.
Let's talk. We are not okay as well, but this is propaganda. It's not real.
But I agree that something has to be done for pushing our right-wing government. This I agree.
Okay, so what would you say? What do you think should be done? What can people outside do?
To speak and to vote on the election, to vote another party.
Of course.
To change the government.
No, not here in Israel. People from outside of Israel. What can they do?
To negotiate. To say we want to speak.
Okay. You've heard about the marches to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
All the people coming to the borders and wanting to march to Jerusalem. What do you think of it? And do you think it'll work?
I almost never go to Jerusalem. I find it very boring. I don't see what's the fuss about the Jerusalem. Why so many of them want to go there? If like a march to Tel Aviv, I can understand. Like good beach, good girls, fun gay community. I don't know, whatever. It's a fun place to be. This Jerusalem crap, I don't get.
Well, their idea is that they're coming back to have Palestinians to make it the Arab capital instead of for Jews.
Shubrim, Gesundheit, what can I say? They have a lot of free time, I guess, to deal with that. A lot of Saudi money.
Do you think that's a good way to do that?
I don't think that's a good way. I think that's counter peace. That's counterproductive. I think this kind of initiative only makes people like the conservative, say people, more restrictive, and that kills the dialogue. I think a lot of the bon-ton European, American or whatever, lefty conversation about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the way it's being held, it's counterproductive. It only helps the radicals in both sides. It destroys dialogue. and it makes Israel like this, like a turtle inside the shell, like protective, everybody against it, and I don't think it's helpful, actually. I think it's just like cliche, and I think there's a lot of cliches going around, and people who don't really know the borders or the numbers or decide have like a very, very firm opinion about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but the facts are not so well known. And I think everybody should come, but not like to demonstrate. Come, check things out, find out for yourself what's going on. It's not as simplistic as it seems. It's not like Israel is the Mordor and Saruman that is trying to conquer the little hobbit village, and now the Palestinian Frodo and Bilbo Baggins need to go with the ring and save the elves and the little Narnia princess. It's very complicated. It's a fucking tragedy. I wish somebody would find a proper solution so people just can fucking live their life without any nationality megalomaniac issues. I hope I was clear. I'm not clear to myself, but I don't know. And happy Passover to everybody, the Jews, the Christian, the Muslim, the Hindu, the Buddhists, and the Polynesians. I like Polynesians very much. I hope everybody could live like in New Zealand, the Polynesians and the immigrants, and they all play rugby and have a good time.
No, it's not a good idea, of course. I don't think that it's something new. I think that many of the Arabs here in Israel are taking a second wife, a third wife, and they are taking them from Jordan and from Lebanon, and they are getting married here, and they are taking our money because all these things it's not true. It's a false. Because it's not their home, it's not their country, and it's terrible. It's terrible to us.
Okay.
I don't think it can be successful. I think it's way too I don't know how to say it, shaftani, ambitious, like because they can't come into Israel. It's a problem. But I do hope that they will find their way to protests without violence. So this is a good thing, a good reason.
Okay. The marches to Jerusalem, where in the Arab world they come to the borders with this march to Jerusalem. What do you think of them, and do you think they'll be successful?
Don't know about them a lot. Can't say.
Okay. Have you heard about the marches to Jerusalem?
No.
No? It's when from the Arab world they want to march to the borders and go to Jerusalem. So do you have an opinion about it?
Well, no one gets hurt, I suppose. Why not?
Okay. And do you think that they'll be successful in what they're trying to do? Do you even understand what they're trying to do?
Well, I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, why?
Because it's a very difficult thing to decide. Like, they won't be able to do it because other people won't want them to, and they want to, and it's the whole problem. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. Just, like, I'm for peace.
Okay. Okay. Have you heard of the March to Jerusalem in the news? About all these on the border from the Arab countries, like wanting to march to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of it?
Nothing special.
Okay. Do you think they'll I don't know, succeed?
If this is the one, it's like they didn't try it before.
They did.
And what happened?
Some got shot when they tried to go through the border.
It's a problem. Like I'm also like, for me, like, go ahead and do it. But I know like it's like the name of the ship thing that happened.
Mavis Mara or something like that.
It's something that obvious what will happen, but they want to get like a propaganda against Israel that it's okay because it's also part of
like protest. This is like half of the part. It's like the people know what's going on. So I'm like, for me again, like like do it like also not just for get there, also for get like the media to know what's going on. So it's okay for me. But again, I'm a left wing, so for me it's obvious what the answers are. And but I know like Israel sorry. But I know like the Israel government is against it, and nothing I can do.